Good morning, friends and neighbors. Thank you for joining us on A Word for Wednesday. I have a question for you today. Are good intentions good enough?
Welcome to A Word for Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Each Wednesday you will find Boggs Family Ministries is here with our host, Davy Boggs. Having you along with us is a wonderful addition. Now, let's enjoy together A Word for Wednesday.
Thank you, Brother Devin, and thank you for joining us on A Word for Wednesday. This is the 102nd episode of A Word for Wednesday, the beginning of our third year. Thank you so much for the feedback last week about continuing A Word for Wednesday and the feedback on the last episode for 2022. I talked about setting our course. What is our course for the next year? And I received a lot of great feedback from that. And I expanded that and preached that over the weekend and got a lot of good response on that. What is our course? And I had a question as well, because I tried to stipulate the difference between goals, resolutions, good intentions, and changing our direction. So someone said, if I have good intentions, isn't that a good start? Yes. Yes, good intentions and goals, resolutions, a change of heart, it's a great start. But good intentions are not good enough. It's a wonderful place to start, but it's not a good place to stop. I have had good intentions throughout my life in more areas than I would ever care to remember, only to have failure in that pursuit because my good intentions were not good enough. If I don't change direction, the good intentions profit me very little. In fact, they will hinder me in this respect. I look back at my good intentions. I look at my failure after that good intentions, and I will beat myself up because those good intentions were so inadequate. They were insufficient. And I'll beat on Davy a while because I realized what an imbecile I was in not following through. So I got to change direction. Good intentions are not good enough. You want to be different. You want to be better. I told you last week, I want to be a better man. I really desire to be a better man. I desire to be a better Christian. I want to be a better husband to Kelly Jo. I want to be a better dad to Odie. I want to be a better friend to many of you. I really want to be a better friend. I want to be a better Christian. I want to be a better church member. I want to be easier to pastor. I want to be a better preacher. I want to be a better evangelist. And everything I've told you could fly under the banner of good intentions. I have wonderful intentions on being a better man. But unless I set that as my course, then my good intentions are not good enough. Do you have a moment this morning? Let me tell you a true story with the names omitted to protect the innocent and the guilty. But I think this will portray how guilty we all can be. But I want to tell you a true story which to me reveals the insufficiency of good intentions, reveals that good intentions are not good enough. Several years ago, a dear pastor friend of mine, he was a long-term pastor at a church. He knew his people very well. He loved them. They loved him. They had a great relationship. One night, a New Year's Eve night, a New Year's Eve service, he passed out a piece of paper to every adult in the congregation and an envelope. And he said, now I want you to think about this. Take a few moments and think, where would I like to be 1 year from now spiritually? I want to set my spiritual goals for 1 year from now. No pressure from the pastor. No pressure from the person sitting on either side of you. You don't have anything to live up to, just your own goals. Where would you like to be 1 year from now? Would you like to be more spiritually mature? Would you like to be more biblically knowledgeable? Would you like to be closer to the Lord in prayer? Would you like to feel like you're exercising your faith more? Would you like to be a better soul winner? Would you like to be a more enthusiastic worshiper? Would you like to come to church more, be more faithful in your activities at church? It doesn't matter what they are. You set them, you write them down. Each one of them did. Folded the piece of paper up and put it in the envelope provided. And then they sealed the envelope and wrote their own name on the front of it. No one was ever going to see that envelope and the contents of that envelope but them. And then they put them in a box, tucked it away in a safe place to open it up again on New Year's Eve the following year. The following year came and went, and nobody remembered the box. Nobody remembered the envelopes. 6 months or so after the deadline, someone remembered them. The pastor found the box or whatever, brought the box to church, passed everybody out their own envelope. Remember, there's no outside pressure. There's no chance to be judged by anybody else. This is us writing down our goals, spiritual goals for the next year. I'm going to be a better soul winner. I'm going to pray more. I'm going to have a deeper relationship with God. I'm going to know my Bible better. It doesn't matter what it is, but they set their own goal. And for 1 year. And because they forgot it, they had 6 extra months. So they had 18 months on a 1 year self-imposed commitment. He asked them to take their envelope, open it, and read it. Not out loud, read it to themselves. Nobody else knew what they wrote. Nobody else knew how they measured up to their own goal. Just every individual found out for themselves. The pastor told me, my friend told me, I just ask him. I'm not asking about your goal. I'm not asking, this. I just want to know, is there anyone here who met your own spiritual goal last year? You had 18 months to meet the goal you set for yourself 12 months down the road. Did anyone meet that goal? And my dear friend told me not one person raised their hand, including the pastor. Now, it's a little humorous if you ask me, but I'm not laughing at them. No, I'm not laughing at them. It's humorous because I see myself in them. I see myself in that real life illustration. Lord, I'm going to do better. I've got my mind made up. I'm going to read the Bible more. This year, Lord, I'm going to follow the reading program and I'm going to read it all the way through. This year, Lord, I'm going to carve out time in my busy day and I'm going to pray. I'm going to spend time every morning with you. I'm going to get up a little earlier. Other people are going to the gym, and that's noble. I'm going to walk. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to pray every day, and I'm going to pray with my family every evening, and I'm going to go to church every Wednesday night, and every Sunday morning, every Sunday night. I'm going to go to the lake less and go to church more. Lord, I'm stirred about my own spiritual condition, only to see that goal fall by the wayside, just like the person that said they were going to quit smoking, they were going to quit cussing, they were going to run more, they were going to exercise more, they were going to quit drinking. just like their resolution fell by the wayside in a few days, weeks, or months, so did my good intention to be a better Christian, to be more spiritual, to be more faithful to my calling and faithful in my walk with the Lord. Good intentions are not enough. Now, I have preached at that church, the church in my story, many, many times, dozens and dozens of nights, and I love those people. They are great people. The pastor is a great man, and the people are good, godly people. They're not less. I don't look at them as less in telling this story because I see myself so clearly in it. I'm glad I wasn't there for those two services, but if I had have been there, I wouldn't have been raising my hand either, because I have set those goals over and over again and fell by the wayside and proved that good intentions are not good enough. We're starting 2023. This is the first Wednesday of the year. And if time past is any indication, the beginning of 2024 will seem like it comes about a week from now. But in that week of time passing, 52 weeks will have went by. And I will have had 365 days to be a better Davy, to be a better Christian, to be a better father, better dad, better preacher, better evangelist. And the only way I can see marked improvement is if I determine my direction is that way, and I literally change my direction and do it. I can dream about it. I can set goals. I can tell others I'm going to. I can confess to you here, I have good intentions. But I promise you my good intentions are not good enough. But if I can change my direction, God will give me grace to be the better man that I need to be. Oh, I hope that makes sense. That just rings in my heart from last week to this. Good intentions, Davy, are not good enough. I am changing my direction. Does that mean that my direction to this point has been bad? No. Thank God for the progress I've made. Thank God I'm not the man that I used to be. I'm not the man I was when I started this series 2 years ago. Thank God for that. This is part of it. This is another reason for me to pray, another reason for me to study God's Word, another reason for me to prepare my heart. I'm a better man because of the direction that I have been, and I want to continue my direction toward God. Let's do that together this year, can we? Let's meet on Wednesday. Let's press toward spiritual maturity together. I think that's a noble goal. I think that is a really good intention, only made reality by following through. That's my word for Wednesday. Kelly and I met an Italian man several weeks ago, and here's how he ended his time, and I'm going to use it. Ciao for now.
That is our word for Wednesday. We are so glad that you've spent a few minutes with us today. If you've been touched by today's episode, please share it with your friends and family. We welcome your questions or comments below or by email. You can find the email address in the description, along with a link to Mile Markers, the website for Boggs Family Ministries. Also, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and we hope to see you next Wednesday.